Yeah, I mean, I like wanted people to think it was me when it came out, but I was like, no, that's a like porn star, basically. They, them, he, her, mostly they, them.
It's like, should we leave the USA? I don't know.
Each other, because that's what the people at the top really want us to do and like divide us and see that we're in competition with each other when really we're not. You know, we're individuals, we're artists, and there's enough for everybody.
Amplified. Welcome back to the podcast Overman Amplified, where we talk about music industry, mindfulness, all kind of things, touring, chaps, fringe.
Taps and fringe, yeah.
What else
Most
is there
clothing
to
items.
discuss? Our guests today, they are an award-winning singer, songwriter, and mainly country music artist. I'll use the word icon. They have a combined over 25,000 social media followers, 500,000 streams on Spotify. Their new video, Party Girl, is really fun watch. We're going to talk about that. And their new record, Are You Mad at Me, is coming out on Don Giovanni Records, and they're on a national tour.
Yes.
Please make some noise for our guest, Paisley Fields.
Oh my God, thank you. What an introduction. I'm so happy to be here.
I
Hanging
love
out.
it. So you're in Brooklyn.
I'm in Brooklyn, yes, back here. Been here pretty much most of the year, except for a couple trips to New Orleans and LA, and then getting on the road on Wednesday for South by.
Amazing. What is your live band setup like? What's your live show?
For this run, it's going to be a 4-piece. I'll be on keys and singing. We got everybody in the band sings, so we've got guitar, bass, drums, and some sweet little vocal harmonies.
I love that. That's so cute. Well, I almost like there's so much I want to talk to you about. It's hard to really know where to start, but we met in Nashville
Yes.
probably in like 2017 or 2018.
Yeah, I would say coming up on 10 years probably.
Wow, girl. That's a long time. And I think that you were splitting your time between Nashville and Brooklyn at that time, and now you're more of a Brooklyn-based artist.
Yeah, I was definitely dipping a toe into Nashville and seeing what the deal was and deciding if it was for me, and I decided it was not. I do love New York, and listen, I'm not a Nashville hater by any means. Like, I have a lot of great friends there and I love visiting, but New York just feels more like a good home base for me. I really love the community here and my friends and just the sort of insane lifestyle you can have while being here.
Mm. Yeah, I heard one of my past guests on this podcast, Chris Angeles, described LA as shitty heaven and New York as fun hell.
That is so accurate.
So yeah, you're a hellraiser living in fun hell. And
Yeah.
I wanted to just touch on you. So your pronouns are
I'm they, them, he, her, mostly they, them.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to an interview and you got heat a lot, and I don't know why. It just kind of made me like,
Yeah. It's something that like it doesn't really bother me that much, but there are days where I'm like, that just feels like not correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk to you about like code switching because it seems like you do a really wonderful job of being in the business world and like you have your shit together where you are sending out, like you're getting into South by Southwest official for what, like the third, fifth year? You're like
Yeah, the fifth. This is the 5th year
the
of doing it.
fifth year, amazing. We're able to sort of navigate a lot of different worlds. You have your artist hat, and then you have your like, I'm dealing with business people, and I don't need to take this setback personally, or I'm going to take this photo shoot super personally because I have my own brand and I'm going to make it stand out and I'm going to make it bedazzle. And like, I don't know if I know anyone who's better at kind of like splitting themselves, which I'm sure you learned to survive growing up in Iowa.
Yeah.
But do you
Yeah.
want to talk about that at all? Like, how do you go between worlds?
I mean, now that you say that, that makes me think it might have been part of it is just like being the closeted kid and having to put on different personas to sort of, as this way to survive. But as far as with with the business thing, I've read a lot about the industry and it's really, I think, confusing on purpose for artists. One thing that's really helped me lately is I joined with the Recording Academy. I'm doing a mentorship. So I have a mentee and I'm not like anywhere close to being an expert on the business, but just talking with her and answering her questions helps me to be more on top of my game and be like, okay, this like young college student wants my help and information from me. So I better know what I'm talking about, when she has these questions. So that's been one thing that's been super helpful to me. And then just talking to you, talking to other artists and see what people do. I think it's really important that we don't gatekeep information from each other because that's what the people at the top really want us to do and like divide us and see that we're in competition with each other when really we're not. We're individuals, we're artists, and there's enough for everybody.
I love that. And it's also like by you supporting someone else, you kind of get out of your own way if you're starting to have like
Mhm.
a pity party. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait, you have this line in a song that I wish I had written, White Hot Winter Night. Is that Winter Nights, the song? Is that what that's called? And, just as a songwriter, it seems like you have songs like that are just good songs about life and about love. And then you have songs like Ride Me Cowboy, where it's like, it's got the cheeky video, it's a fan favorite, it makes some people feel uncomfortable.
I
And
am so
then,
good at that.
uh, and and then you have some, more overtly political songs. And I would just be curious, do you ever feel like you are like fetishized in a way where you're like gonna do the Ride Me Cowboy song and I'll be like it's just a joke, or like I'm just doing folk at like a very serious folk conference for people who write songs that fucking matter, so I'm gonna do the political one. And then you're like, I just want to shake my tits. Like I just
Yeah.
I don't really know if there's even a question on that,
I
but
know, yeah, I think I see what you're saying. I feel like my writing has evolved quite a bit, and I will somewhat adjust to, like, whatever room I'm in, but not fully. Like, my performance I see is it's for the audience more than myself, and I think people wanna see themselves in whatever I'm doing, and so it's really about reflecting what I think is gonna work best or what people are gonna relate to the most when I'm coming up with a live set. I don't know. What about you? How do you like choose which songs you're doing when?
I guess you just feel it out. But I do
Yeah.
think I asked the fetish question because, and not like the fun fetish with the like,
Yeah.
we're checking off some kind of weird like woke box where it's like, I wrote
Right.
this song White Man's Dream, which kind of explores my identity and my issues I had with Nashville and the country music machine, really the music industry machine. And sometimes I just felt like I don't want to sing that wordy ass song. It's not my hookiest song. It's not,
Yeah.
like there's other stuff that I do that, like Whiplash is just supposed to be like an earworm about
Mhm.
love.
Yeah.
But no, you have to be this like you're this thing, this. So, and I
Right.
think especially with the political climate being so like, holy shit. One of my questions I wrote down was like, should we leave the USA? I don't know. Like,
Mm,
are we frogs in the pot that's starting to get like hella
yeah.
hot and we should leave? Or
Seriously.
what's
Yeah.
your take? You've seen more of America than most, I'd say.
It's it feels like a very scary time right now, and just the current administration is just doing all this really insidious stuff that I didn't. It's weird because I remember growing up and being closeted and never thinking like it would be safe for me to come out and it would be okay. And now it it is, but it's not. Like it's just you move forward a little bit and then back, and it does feel a little like, yeah, do I want to be here right now? My husband has dual citizenship in Canada, and we're like, okay, we have a little bit of an escape plan if we need to.
Vancouver has a great film industry. I
Yeah,
mean,
I love Toronto. I love Montreal.
oh, you've already been house shopping. You're like, we've been looking at neighborhoods.
Yep. I'm like, this is good. I
So,
mean,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just thinking back about the question you had as far as being like fetishized or whatever and having to fit into a specific category. I feel like yeah, I get that a lot in a way that's like, I can't just be the artist. I have to be a queer country artist, and there has to be all these specific qualifiers. And even with playing the piano, people are like, "Well, you're not country because that's piano."
That's so ignorant.
Yeah, and it's
It's like,
like
have you ever listened to music? Do you know where it came
right.
from?
Yeah. So, truly. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of times we're put on the queer stage instead of
Yeah.
being given a spot on the main stage.
You've probably played the lesbian tent at Pride, where like other people are on the main stage and it's like all the lesbians in Paisley.
Probably. Just wanna hang out with lesbians all day anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't complain about that.
Same.
But it does feel a little shitty to just never be given that space on the main stage, and you're always sort of like the diversity hire, you know?
I wanted to talk to you about the limp wrist photo shoot
Mhm.
because that's you on the cover?
That is no. It
Okay.
was
Because I was like,
I
you
was
are
like
absolutely ripped.
yeah, I mean, I, wanted people to think it was me when it came out, but I was like, "No, that's a, porn star," basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when I went to, my friend Katie Sue has this company called Wing and Weft, and they mainly do gloves, but we're friends from, back in college, and I told her I wanted to do this sort of, fetish/Catholic, harness thing, this look, and she just wrote down "gay Catholic." I was like, "That's it. You got it."
That's amazing. It did remind me of Jenny Lewis, how she has a few album covers that are just like
Yeah.
torso. And then
Yeah.
it's all themed around like the tour because you wore that same harness
Yeah.
on the tour.
I still have it hanging in the closet there if I need to bring it back out.
I mean, when you fly, are you like, don't go in there with your suitcase or
I mean, it's kind of annoying if people go through it. It's like, "Yeah, there she is." Also got it on
wow.
there.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. So you're like, don't go through
Yeah,
my
I mean,
stuff. But
yeah, not really, but I'm not embarrassed, you know? It's like, whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's something that I'm coming around to is like when I'm in a space of other queer people, there's just kind of a like I
Yeah.
don't have to explain myself. I don't have to like be this or be that. I can just kind of exist. And I think maybe we're finding ourselves there in the fragmentation of society. But let's talk about like the big dream for Paisley. Like, are you playing the Super Bowl? Are you I know you're winning Grammys because we've already talked about this, but
Yes, all of it.
so you have a magic wand and you have the best career ever. Like, what does that look like? What's a day in the life?
A day in the life, it's a big question. I love performing. That's probably my favorite aspect of the whole thing. So just having being able to put on a massive production at Madison Square would be such a dream come true, you know? It's crazy to say, but it's like, I don't know. I think anything's possible. What about
I'm
you?
already feeling the energy of your
Yeah,
Madison
I
Square
mean,
show. You're gonna have dancers.
why not? Dancers, the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. We'll play it together. What about you? You wave a magic wand, what's your
I
dream?
play Madison Square Garden with you. That sounds free. I'm phoenixing now, the year of the
Yeah,
fire horse. I can feel the
yeah,
energy is really good. I just want to have enough to have a good life where I have a place to live. I'm not worried, is my credit card going to get declined to try to buy groceries? I'm not hella stressed. Like, are enough people going to come to the show that I can get to the next place or that I can afford is someone going
yeah.
to give us a couch or am I sleeping in the car again? Like, I think I've kind of just evolved to a place where I just want stable, good life. And then if, the money's right, then I can just do whatever kind of art I want for the sake of doing the art. And I
Yeah,
do believe it'll be better art when you're not operating from, scarcity or like, it's not a fuck yes, but I feel like I need to say yes because it's an
right.
opportunity. But is it the right opportunity?
Having that freedom to make the choices and just create for the sake of creating, I think that's, really empowering, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and some of, I think, getting to the level of Madison Square Garden is like you have to be able to work with a team. And You are on Don Giovanni Records, and so is Bad Bad Hats,
Yes.
a band that I love, and I played with their former drummer Khan on one of my records. And we worked
Cool.
with the same producer, Brett Bolan, who he's worked with like Bon Iver and Lizzo.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Minneapolis.
I don't know, do you ever get to play with those guys?
I did play with them at, I think it was 2 years ago at South by. We all did the label showcase and they played. I love them. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
They're really good. Yeah, it's not I mean, I do really thrive working with a team, and I one thing somebody said to me early in my career was like, "You can have the manager, the booking agent, the label, all that stuff, but you have to be the hardest working person, and you like, of your whole team, just plan to do everything. And if people come and they help you with things, like, that's just the cherry on top, but just be the person that has to, like, I'm gonna have to do it all," you know? I kind of try to have that mentality always going in, and usually works better than being like, "Okay, I'll let this person handle this," and then all of a sudden I'm like, "Wait, that just didn't get done," you know?
100%. But then how do you avoid micromanaging and like burnout if you're kind of keeping track of all the irons in the fire?
I don't know if I do. I might be a little overbearing sometimes, I don't know. Yes, it's definitely a balance. It's really easy to get burnt out. I feel like people expect a little too much of us as artists, so it's really about protecting that energy. But you how do you avoid getting burnt out? You
Well, I
do
just
so
said I crashed out. I'm like
Yeah.
here in my Sacramento cave doing a podcast. But it's not entirely true. I just announced a spring tour, and I was kind of feeling the gratitude of like, even as an artist, there's highs and lows for sure. And sometimes the higher the high and the higher the expectation, then like the harder you're gonna crash
Right, yeah.
on the tail end of that. But whenever you think you're starting at zero, like you're actually not, because of the skills, the contacts, but it does seem like the universe is like, it's not always gonna deliver to you at the time you think it will or how it. But I wanted to talk to you just because we have a lot of people who are in the music world and want to be able to do like a video like Party Girl. It was a super cute theme. I think you shot it at 2 locations and you had a great cast, and there was like a storyline, and I would just be curious if you'd be open to sharing like what's the budget for a music video like that? Like how did you put together the production team? How did you get people to come and be in the video, and like how much time ahead of the release of the single and the release of the album did all of this kind of,
Yeah,
get done?
I can share everything. So the budget was just under like 1,500. It was around 1,500, and that included director, editing, coloring, all the location, closer to 2,000 probably. But like it was all shot in Bushwick. I used Peerspace to rent this. I just looked through Peerspace and found this hourly place. We rented it for I think like 4 hours or something. And then yeah, we're like, "Go girl, we got to go."
Tight.
And then we did the other just like point and shoot, all the outdoor shots. We were like, "This looks cool. Let's shoot it here." I came up with the whole shot by shot, the list, the concept, made a call sheet, just asked we shot it December like 28th or something, like super weird time between Christmas and New Year's. And the single came out February 28th. So it was really down to the wire. But just texted all my friends and was like, "Who's in town? Who can do this?" And few people were still around and showed up and supported, and that really made it special to just have like my actual like real friends in the shoot, you know? And yeah, it's I mean, did that answer everything? That was sort of how
I think so. So after you did your shoot for one day, they had like a little less than 2 months to edit and deliver, but the song was already done.
the song was
Mixed,
done.
mastered, done.
Yeah, the song had been completed, I think I wanna say maybe November or something. We finished recording, there was just a lot of edits with the mixes, and because I produced it myself, I was kind of I co-produced it with our engineer, and we went back and forth a lot because I didn't always have the language of how I wanted it to sound, but I knew how I wanted it to sound in my head.
Mhm. Hmm.
there was a lot of back and forth with that and with the mixes, but it finally came together, and I think it turned out I'm really happy with how it turned out, and this is the most as far as the video, I usually will work more collaboratively on the story with the director, but this one I was like, "This is it, and this is how it's all gonna be." And Madeline, who directed it, was incredible and just came up with different like, the actual shots, you know? But yeah, that's kinda how it was kinda thrown together.
Did you use a specific software for the call sheets, or like, did you use Canva or something for storyboards, or were you just like, okay,
Yeah, I used Canva for the call sheet and the, like, putting everything together to just keep it organized and send it out to everybody
that's cool, and that's cheap. You got a nice video done for not much.
with a
It's
budget.
amazing how, like, I often think artists, we think either it has to be just on my iPhone, on iMovie, which you did make a great, music video that way during the pandemic, you know, where
Yeah,
it's like $0, or it
yeah,
needs to be like upwards of $10,000 for music video. It can happen really easily, especially depending how, like, professional you want it to be with, like, crafty and, like, reimbursing for parking, and
yeah,
if
it
it
can
goes over time with the editing, which it almost always does, so make sure you get that shit in writing, what they're charging you and what it's gonna be, and, yeah, so nice work. And then I wanted to ask you about the production because I'm getting off Party Girl really like Digital Ash and a Digital Urn, like Bright
oh, yeah,
Eyes
that's
energy.
definitely was a reference. I love Bright Eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, that for sure was part of it. I wanted to go outside of country a bit on this one. There's still country songs with that Americana vibe production, but for this lead single, it felt important for me to just take a step and evolve a bit, and I never wanna do the same thing twice, you know? But yeah, that was what are you thinking for your next album? Are you gonna be changing it up?
I
Thinking
don't
sh
know if I'm at liberty to discuss.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, lots of irons in the fire, but
Mhm.
so you've worked with other producers before. I mean, have you done the Nashville thing where you, like, go into the studio, you pay top dollar session musicians,
Yeah, I
or, like, paid for the brand name producer? Maybe not paid, but you're like, "Oh, this person produced X, it's gonna be great," and, like, what was that experience?
Yeah, I think for Limp Wrist, I had Andrea, who runs the bomb shelter, produce it, and that was one of my maybe favorite recording sessions ever because he really understood what I wanted and really led it and really was so supportive, and it was kind of the first thing I did outside of the pandemic. So it just felt really nice to be in the studio. It was all analog. I barely used my phone. We were just all, like, hanging out making music, and that was super special. I would do that again anytime. Like, that was such a good experience. And this was a wonderful experience too, but it was just different because I was really, really running the whole show and producing and performing and the writer, and, it was hard to really know if I was getting a good vocal take. Because
Mm,
with Andrea, he'd just be like, "Okay, got it," or "Try it again this way," and then on this album, I'd sing and say, "Was that good? I could," you know?
mhm.
Not so much
And then the
second guess
the
myself.
the bomb shelter, that's, they Alabama Shakes recorded there. Was
Yeah.
Andrea the producer for them, or
Yes, he was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's, I did a single Lisa Frank there. It's a
Oh, yeah?
cool studio.
Yeah, I love
That's
that
that
place.
energy of Nashville sometimes too, where it's like, "Oh, this is where people come to write and get together,"
Yeah.
and so you were doing a 12-song album, and you do a lot of different genres. I mean, so you are like, "The album's not dead. Why not just do a bunch of singles? Why not just do 1 single and 100 videos for TikTok?"
Yeah. I I love an album. That's just generally how I like to listen to music, and I think it's an art form that shouldn't be lost, and I don't really think in terms of numbers as much, and maybe that's the bad business person in me, but I just wanna create a work of art that's a whole thing, that's a whole picture, and I just don't find I've done some singles that are standalone, and I just don't find that to be really fulfilling. Seems like we're told by fucking Spotify or whatever, like, "You gotta put singles out, singles," and it's been 4 years since my last album, and I took my time and I did it right, and I think that we made something really special. So I wanted to make a whole thing, not just churn out a bunch of singles, you know?
Yeah. And what number album is this for you?
This is my 4th full length, and this will be my 3rd with Don Giovanni, and I put out a couple EPs as well.
I love that. And you're starting to really build the trust with your fans where like you're touring the same places
Yeah.
over and over and they're starting to say, "Oh, I got Limp Wrist and it was this amazing vinyl and it was this whole experience and now of course I want Are You Mad at Me?"
Yeah.
So anyway, they should buy it. They can buy it. They can pre-save it now.
Please, pre-order at the first I don't know how many we've sold yet, I gotta check, but the first 50 are autographed.
So I wanted to talk to you about photo shoots because it seems like a lot of bands that I meet who are like newer and getting going on touring, like they don't know how to be photographed or they don't have any ideas. They're like, I'll stand in front of a brick wall or like the train
Yeah,
tracks.
the
Or
classic.
my girlfriend got a blurry photo of me like playing this dive bar. That works, right? For the photos. And it seems like you enjoy that part of the process, or it is sort of a
Yeah.
creative outlet if you don't enjoy it, maybe. I don't know, but how can we all be like you, Paisley, with photo
Well,
shoots that don't suck?
your photos look amazing. I think just like having the relationship with the photographer is the most important thing.
Hmm.
Shooting with somebody that you feel comfortable in front of. And for me, that's either somebody who's like super queer friendly or queer or a woman. And I don't feel like I'm being judged for being too feminine or anything like that. I just feel very comfortable to be myself. So that's what I've found to be more fun. And a lot of the photographers I've worked with lately have helped me feel just be you, you know?
Mm.
I think that's the most important thing. I don't feel like I'm really good at posing or being in front of the camera or like, I'm always making some weird face or my eyes are halfway closed. But I think like I'm like, why are half of these pictures I'm like halfway eye closed? But I think just getting the right photographer, they'll be able to capture that. So it's really more about them, in my
For
opinion.
each album, you had the was it Catholic gay or oh, you had a bunch of other words to lead up to it, and um, yeah, I'm gonna pull up the artwork for the "Are You Mad at Me?" is really cool as well. But so do you go and seek out props, or are you making a Pinterest board of, like, other stuff that you like? Are you intentionally being like, "This album, this is my, stage look, and this is what I'm gonna do for the photo shoots, and this is what is gonna reappear in music videos," or is it more organic than that where you're just like, "This is what I threw on the van. I'm gonna wear it every night."
It's been both. So with Limp Wrist, I was very intentional about this is the exact shot I want for the cover going in there. And we just said, we got to get this shot. That's it. For Are You Mad at Me? We weren't even planning for that to be the album cover shoot. I was just in LA and the photographer's name, Bow and Arrow is their name. They had this really cool set. We were going to do something else, but I just thought, oh, I love this 70s room. Yeah, that's the picture. And I thought we could get something really cool here. Let's just do it. I got the photos back and I thought, this looks like an album cover. I think this is the album cover. So just sort of not intending to create that at all. And just we got it.
It's gorgeous.
Thanks. It was fun.
And that's funny that it was LA because I was like, "That's Dive Motel for sure in Nashville."
No, I think it was actually when I played your album release show. That's when I shot it
Okay.
on yeah.
Well, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for making my album cover happen.
Well, it's that show was one where, like, I wanna see you on Madison Square Garden, and I wanted to ask you about your Lucinda Williams bar residency.
Yeah.
So, Lucinda Williams, icon, have you met her?
I have not met her, no. I'm good friends with Kelly Swindle, who's one of the owners of it, and we were on tour separately in the UK, and we're just texting. We're like, "How funny, we're, like, both over here at the same time." And she told me she was opening this spot and wanted to have a queer night and wanted it to be, like, intentionally inclusive for queer people, and I was like, "That sounds fun as hell." let's do a monthly thing there and call it the East Village Country Club. And so it's not going to be happening every month this year because of my touring schedule, but it's it is so much fun. It's just real, like, honky tonk kind of what I wanted, like, the country music scene to be like growing up, where it's a bunch of queer people and we're having the kind of, like, state fair style pie eating contest and, like, showing off our butts in Wranglers and having these silly competitions and then just playing a bunch of music all night and getting kind of rowdy. It's really fun. I'm really enjoying doing that.
Yeah,
You gotta
that's
come out.
amazing. You're
Like,
creating the world that you wanna live in.
yeah, yeah, it sort of feels like we're making something that's a little what I wished I had, you know? And
Yeah.
that's really ultimately what I wanna do is I never saw myself represented in country music, and I wanna change that so people see that it's possible for anybody to do it.
Hell yeah. And I
Yeah.
think that's also where, like, your work ethic, like, no one's gonna outwork you. You're writing with everyone you can, you're learning everything you can. I don't know that you like, I used to cry because my voice sounds like it does. Like, I wanted to have a perfect Whitney Houston tone and, like, range. I wanted to be able to get cast and sing the higher parts, but I have this, like, low, raspy voice, but it's what makes me me, and
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
learned how to use it, and I feel like your voice is also, like, something that's very much doesn't sound like anyone else. It sounds like you,
Yeah, I
and
think so, and
yeah.
yeah, that's I don't know, maybe you had the same experience, but when I've done some vocal coaching and stuff, and I'm like, I don't wanna try to emulate a specific style, I just wanna sound the most myself and have the most control over my tone and my pitch and be able to kind of understand how to use it, but I don't really think of myself as a good singer, but I think I have an interesting perspective and a unique voice, and I think I'm not imitating anybody, you know?
You're a good singer, and when you sing, like, "I Had to Leave Home" on
Yeah,
Iowa, that
yeah.
long note and the way that it curves at the end, and there's so much feeling in that. You can give that to the best Broadway singer in the world, and they're not gonna deliver the emotion. They're not gonna give over the goods that
It's
you're.
about that's the thing is it's about having that emotional connection to the song, I think,
Mhm.
which you do so great too. I just love seeing you perform. I feel like seeing your evolution has just been really inspiring too, from, like, our days back in Nashville to when I
Well,
saw
you're
your
so sweet.
yeah, but, like, just seeing your album release show, I was just such a fan. I was totally fangirling the whole time. I'm like, "This is the best thing." Like, you know how to put on a show, and everybody needs to know that.
Well, thanks.
Mhm.
You wrote a song with Melody Walker, who is a
Yeah.
Grammy-winning artist, and what was that experience like if someone's going into a co-write and they're like, "I don't even know what that means," or like, "I wrote one song last year. How am I gonna write a song in 3 hours with a stranger?" Any
Yeah.
background on that?
Well, this was I think my 3rd the one that's coming out, it's gonna be the next single. It's called Hands Off the Hat. I think it was my 3rd time writing with Melody, 2nd or 3rd time, and, it's I go in with ideas, but a lot of times we're just talking to each other and we're like, "Oh, that's it. That's what the song should be about." And I as far as I know, I think I could be like the most difficult person to write with in the world, but I think the most effective I've been in writing sessions is being with somebody I like and that I'm comfortable around, and we just are like what we're doing now, having a conversation, and then something hits, and we're like, "That's interesting. That could be a song." Like, there's a
Hmm,
feel there.
huh,
And even I would say all the songs on this album aren't necessarily autobiographical, but the emotion that's there is. So there is something real there, even if the story might take a little liberty with the truth. The feeling is still real. I think it's about having that feeling, that emotion in the song, you know?
mm, I love that. I mean, I think I almost get taken down a rabbit hole when I get too heady about what feeling or what we're trying to really say, where it's like, yeah, just keeping it hands off the hat. Now I'm like, "Oh, I wanna hear the story." Like, that's a great title. That's how some people say is start with the title and then work from there, but
Yeah, I think
is
we did. We were kind
okay.
of we were just kinda cracking each other up about this, and I was basically like, "I hate it when I'm wearing a cowboy hat and somebody just comes up and takes it off and puts it on. No,
Mm-mm.
don't do that." And so, like, we wrote a
Okay.
song about that thing.
It's like
Um,
touching a black lady's hair, like, just
actually,
don't do it.
don't do it.
Why would you think that would be okay to do?
Yeah, it's not.
Or touching people's tattoos.
Yeah,
You like this tattoo? That does not give you permission to touch
right.
anyone's
What are you
skin.
doing?
The rules did not change
And
because
it's
of your interest.
strangers, people you've never met. I'm like, "What are you doing? Get out of here."
Have they not seen a cowboy hat, you think, before? Or
Maybe.
so have you ever played a gay cruise or specifically queer events? Obviously, you've done some prides, but
I've
like,
done some things.
have you experienced grabby boundary stuff from within our own community, or is it mostly like stranger
Yes,
danger?
I have. It's more so been when I was doing the piano bars and people would be, like, super hammered at 4 in the morning and just kind of, like, crawling all over me, and I'm like, "Let's set a boundary here." I've lately, people have been, for the most part, really respectful. I haven't done a cruise. Have you done a cruise?
I did a event that was like at a resort on the beach. It wasn't floating.
Well,
Maybe they'll book me for a cruise. It was it was before I quit drinking, so I feel like I might struggle more with like the
mhm,
swim up pool bar and the foam
right.
parties and the constant just let's
People
get
repeating.
hammered. It'll be really fun. We'll
Yeah.
get hammered. We did it yesterday. We'll do it again today. It'll be great.
Yeah, wake up feeling like shit. Great.
But yeah, I mean, so your band that's on tour, do you record with them as well?
5%.
Okay.
For this March tour, yes, it's everybody who is on the album. They're not gonna be available the whole year to tour with me, it sounds like, but I generally prefer to tour with queer people if it's possible, or at least people who are super queer friendly.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And then in terms of if you feel like you can share, like, in terms of putting a band together for a rehearsal show, or I want you to record on this record, here's the songs, we're gonna get in the studio, or here's what my 9 months is looking like. Can I count on you to be in the band? Like, I think that's as a solo artist who brings on backing musicians, that can be like you feel like a restaurant manager. You're like constantly like
Yeah,
hiring and training and like
yeah, it does.
and band dynamics are evolving. And like you said, you're gonna be the hardest working one. You can't really expect like whoever your drummer is to be like, this is my entire life. Maybe if you're
Right.
lucky. But
Yeah.
yeah, can you speak on that at all? Like how you set up expectations and like keep everybody happy and
It
roll
gets
through these different challenges?
it definitely gets stressful, it's challenging. I've been lucky that I've been able to play with some really high caliber musicians who like my music, they say, and understand the vision. I think I believe them. I found I'm just kidding. No, I love my band. I love the musicians I play with. The one thing that has really been a game changer for me is getting a tour manager, and it's a bit of a luxury expense, but just having somebody there who can help answer questions and help with the load-ins and have everything organized, and I don't have somebody being like, "What time is this? When is this? What is this? Where is this?" And they are able to kind of field all that, and I can just focus more on performing and then whatever other work I need to do. That's really, really helped me a lot and made touring a lot easier as far as, like, having that extra help on the road.
So are you using Master Tour for your like advanced sheets?
I don't even know what that is. I probably should be.
Cool, cool. Yeah, no, no, I'll send you a link to it.
Please.
Master Tour is what like we used on the Ani DeFranco tour and on The tour I did with Rachel Sage, her tour manager, puts all those sort of details of like, what time is load in? Like, what time is your set? Are they feeding us? Like, what's the deal? Where are we staying? What's the driving time? What's the loadout time? Like, all of
Amazing.
that's like in an app. So
Okay.
you don't have to like answer the bass player is like hungry and they're not sure if they
And
want to
everybody
stop at the gas station or like at the town. And it's like, here it is. Um, so that's a maybe a
genius.
helpful app for
Yes.
but yeah, so is the tour manager driving the van as well?
Yeah, he's
Or
doing most of the
minivan?
drives. It's a this time we're having one of the passenger van. It's not like a fancy thing, but it's just like a bigger kind of cargo van.
Mhm.
Yeah, usually in the Chrysler Pacifica, the screen's always going out, you know.
You
But we're
take
touring.
seats away? Or I guess you c
Yeah,
well,
like the 2 back we fold down, but this time we're
mhm.
touring with the whole back line, so we needed more space and there's gonna be 5 of us.
Yeah.
So, additional challenges, but I really wanna put on the best show I can, and that just feels like
Mhm.
the way I can do it, you know?
Yeah, and so then are you staying at hotels, or are you staying with friends and family, or
This is
camping?
this is mostly gonna be Airbnbs because there's 5 of us, and that would be, like, 3 hotel rooms each night, basically, which isn't sustainable at all. So, yeah, just either there's some instances where either the festival or the venue will provide lodging for the night, which is pretty rare, but that helps a lot. Otherwise, it'll be Airbnbs or you know, try to always stick with the same hotels and get the points, get the choice hotels with the ASCAP discount. Yeah,
That's cute.
they're not fancy, they're not nice, but they're generally clean enough and get us through.
Yeah. Wow, so, yeah, as you're putting together, like, sort of a tour budget, it's like gas, you're renting the van, you're hiring 4 people. I guess you have to pay yourself as well because you still have bills. Even if you get all the glory, you still have bills, and then, you're selling music, merch. What's your merch game like?
I'm trying to up my merch game a little bit. My manager suggested doing handwritten lyrics and just doing pay what you wish for those. So I'm doing like cute little metallic handwritten lyrics,
It's like
selling
one of
t-shirts.
those gel metal pins, like
Yeah,
sparkly. Okay.
exactly. So it'll be kind of cute. T-shirts, records, CDs, bandanas. That's pretty much it. I want to expand and do some bolo ties. I think that would
Mhm.
be a fun item.
I love that. Do you have stickers?
And stickers. Yes, I have stickers.
Okay. And then how's your mailing list? Like, is that a priority or do you do a text list? Or I've just heard that when you have an audience, like you want their contact info. That's like the number one. Even before like selling records, it's like being able to reach them again to let them know you're coming on tour, you have a new single or whatever.
Yeah, for the longest time, I wasn't doing the mailing list anymore. Like, I started and then I stopped, and I have, like, not a lot of people, maybe 600 on the mailing list, and then I'm gonna, for this tour, just have a place for people to sign up. I see a lot of artists are doing the text blast thing, which might be something I'm looking at in the future as well. Which of those do you do, or either of them, both of them?
I'm thinking about signing up for text just because I think email is great, but it just depends what wavelength people have for answering, especially like their social
Yeah.
emails. If it's like a MailChimp,
Mhm.
email marketing is 17 times more effective than social media organically. 600, that's equal to 10,200 followers on like Instagram. 600 mailing lists is great. I think, yeah, having that interactive where they can sign it, or I have a QR code where they just like scan and it goes right to a page on my website where the only thing is enter your email address.
Yeah.
So that's been helpful. But yeah, so you're like, wow, that's a lot to prepare to go on tour. What is your favorite element like of touring? Like why are you hooked that you just like keep doing this?
It's just the performance really, which is, 3% of the whole thing.
If
That,
you're
like
lucky.
Yeah, exactly. 30 minutes on stage is worth all the other kind of bullshit you have to put up with to go through it. And I mean, it's also great to see other parts of the country, and we'll try to go to a national park or something on each tour and just see pretty things that you wouldn't normally see driving through Wyoming or wherever the fuck, you know?
I love Wyoming.
Yeah.
I worked as a wrangler out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure.
I love that.
Yeah, so I guess I wanted to just ask you about like safety and activism, and as it feels like just such a crazy time to be alive. And also, do you have an idea what's coming in the future? I was laughing on Don Giovanni's website, your label, where they were like, "Do we know how to navigate the digital music industry?" They're like, "No, we don't." Or like their frequently asked questions was hilarious. So bet they're a fun crew to work with.
They are really fun. I really like working with that team. I don't know, it's crazy the whole thing with AI and all this stuff is just a little scary to navigate, but I think things are gonna change so much, and I don't know, it's kinda one of those things where it's like, wait and see. What are you thinking? I feel like there is this movement of younger people who don't wanna be on their phones and don't really wanna just be on social media all the time, and it's more about these in-person hangs and going to concerts because that experience really can't be replicated, you know? But it's so hard to tour as an indie person and have it be sustainable. There's some change that's gonna happen soon because I really don't wanna see concerts go away. It's really a special thing to be able to connect with an audience in person, but it's tough, you're driving 6 hours and then you show up to the venue and there's 15 people there and it's a 100 cap room. You're like, "Oh god, what?" But then, you play to 300 people in Nashville and it's this amazing show and you meet a lot of young queer people who were there who are so moved by the performance that you're like, "Okay, it's worth it. I can play this, like, crappy show to make a few hundred extra bucks and then get to the thing that really, like, fuels me," you know?
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, and also like thank you for just being vulnerable to be like, yeah, sometimes like 15 people come and I'm like, where are the 85 people I need to like,
Right.
and you're hiring 5 people and you're renting a van and you are have rent in
Yeah.
Brooklyn. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart, this
It's
game.
not it's risky, but I've always thought that this is what I was really put on this earth to do, is to play music, and I'm just gonna do what it takes to make it happen. It's my that's my thought now leading up to this tour. We'll see where I'm at
Mhm.
afterwards, but I feel really strongly about this album. I feel really good about it, and I just feel like I've been working towards this moment for a long time, and I really wanna give the songs a shot, a chance to be heard by as many people as they can.
I love that. And is there like a sync operation going alongside the music coming out, or you're part of the recording academy and very active there, so that's like kind of a who's who in the industry. Have you seen any like through lines where you're just like, okay, I'm going to tell Brad and then he's going to tell all the music industry and it's done?
Not exactly like that. I wish Brad was more helpful, but, like, what the hell? I've been really happy with my experience in the recording academy and, people in the New York chapter are willing to take meetings with me and answer my questions, and it's through that I was able to get a sync deal. So I just got a sync deal few months ago, so they're starting to push this album out. Yes. And just having, like, that little bit of passive income helps, And, yeah, in talks with a publishing deal and the whole thing. I'm trying to be more of a working woman,
So a
professional.
publishing deal would mean that you are hired to write a certain number of songs a month to pitch to other artists.
That can be part of it. What this would be is probably because I have the sync deal, a lot of times the publisher will do sync, but that's generally exclusive. So with this, it would probably just be an administrative deal where they collect royalties from like global royalties. So, you have ASCAP covers the US, but if your song's getting played in Portugal, they would have to collect that. And then there's also the MLC, so they register with the MLC and those like sound exchange, all that different shit that I
Mhm.
don't completely understand.
Music Licensing Collective,
Yes, Music Licensing Collective.
MLC.
Yeah, so that's helpful to just have that little bit of extra passive income.
Yeah, and speaking of income, well, and congratulations on all that. You have
Thank you.
launched a Patreon page. Are there some naughty photos on your Patreon?
There might be, nothing crazy. No, I just started it, and it's really just kind of giving more of a behind the scenes look at, the things I'm not gonna be sharing on social media. It's a lot more candid
Mhm.
and just yeah, another place for me to have community with people who wanna be connected that maybe aren't able to make it to the shows or live in a different city that I'm not going to, or people that are and just wanna be able to support.
That's so amazing too. It's like if you give, I don't know what your lowest tier is, $5, $10 a month. If you give $5 a month, you get to be part of a community
Mhm.
and you get to be actively like helping you when you're trying to book
Yeah.
not the shittiest hotel, but like the cheapest one that everyone's gonna still survive and keep rolling down the
Right.
road. Like you get to be part of that buying power because we need it. It's like streaming is not paying. Like the venues, even doing a $15 cover, it's just like it cost over $100 to fill up your gas tank, and it cost like $20 to go out to lunch now. So it's just like if the community can step up, it really does take a village. And you're diversifying your talent so much where you're like, you can sync my music, you can come to a live show, you can purchase my album, you can just like stream it on the background. It's on a fun pride playlist. You can,
Yeah.
it's like I do think in some ways the way the industry is now is better because you don't have two record labels telling us what we can put out or who we can be or what the one photo is that gets shared because it's our album cover,
Right.
but instead it's like, sorry, you got to wear all the hats and there's
Right.
very little money in anything, but it can be done. You are living proof that it's possible.
I think it can be done. I think, yeah, the nice thing is that the gatekeeping has kind of gone away where anybody can do this, and it's just about figuring out how you want your career to look. And that doesn't mean touring for everybody. That doesn't mean putting out an album. It might just mean, creating videos for YouTube or whatever. Like, I think it's about figuring out what works for you and how to make that work and feel fulfilled and not get burnt out by doing too much. It's a lot. It is a
Yeah.
lot. You have to have the mindset of I'm gonna do all this. And if I get some help, great.
Mm.
Wonderful.
I love that. So do you have a mindfulness practice, or we could talk about fitness a little bit because you're always in like amazing shape and I'm like, "Girl, like what are you eating? Like how often are you at the gym?"
Mm,
I didn't realize you weren't the abs on the cover, but that's okay. I still love you. But like, and especially like navigating drinking, I know you had posted about I did this whole tour sober, and
yeah,
how do you
that's some
balance another cheers everybody in the honky tonk with like I
right.
am running a small corporation?
Right. I've noticed it's a lot easier to tour when I'm not drinking. And it's not that I'm sober, but I just your voice is in better shape. You wake up clear. It's just easier. You're not irritated by whatever little thing that happens. I've just found that it's been a lot easier to do it that way. And I mean, it's harder to work out on the road, but I try to do 3 times a week. Shout out to my trainer, Dimitri. I feel like exercising really has helped my mental health, which I never really thought was a thing, but it totally is. I just getting into the gym and lifting afterwards, I just feel like I can get that sort of crazy anxiety out and
Mhm.
I just feel like better about the way I look?
How many hours are you at the gym a day?
One.
Okay. No, well, it's just like the practicality of it. It's like, get your gym outfit by the door, set the time to say, I'm going to go, I'm going to spend an hour there. That's my Monday. I'll be back Wednesday. I'll be back Friday. Like it is doable, but it feels like when it's not your habit, it feels really impossible.
Yeah, it's just about going because even some days I'll be like, I do not want to go, and I'll go and be like, I'm gonna have the laziest fucking day at the gym, and I'm just doing like a few machines, and then I'm like, okay, I did that. I can do one more machine. I can do one more machine, and just kind of like that self motivation to be like, you just go. You can get there. You can lift one weight and leave, but at least you went. You know what I mean?
I love that. I should go to the gym today. Maybe I'll be inspired.
There you go. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad workout. Like if you go and you do something, be proud of yourself. You know?
I love that. Well, I set up this keyboard, but I feel like we're like running out of time and I don't even know how we would do this. Be like, teach me to play piano, Paisley.
Okay,
You
a
started.
C chord. I would use
There's a
my
C.
one finger on the C. Yeah, like 1, 3, 5 finger. Your thumb, I mean, on the C.
Oh, C and
Yeah.
guitar. This is your one, and this is a one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's
you're
different.
0 finger.
3, 5. There's a C. This is gonna be a hit song.
I love it. Now do an F. You
Now
got
an
it.
F.
Yes, I am that
F.
bitch.
There you go.
Yes, I
G.
am
Hit.
that bitch.
G. Boom. We just
Yes,
go
I
well.
am
What's
that
it called?
Yes, I am that bitch.
I love it.
It's actually
Yes,
not
I am
a bad
that
song title. Okay, we'll write this down. Yes, I am that bitch. It was
Yes, I
C,
am that bitch.
F, G.
Yep.
How cute would that be for the end of the podcast to have like the and now? Yes, I am
And
that
now,
bitch.
DJ, play that track.
Well, you're such an inspiration. Everyone should pre-save your new record, become a patron, buy tickets to your show. And then I love that you started playing piano in church. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
That
And
is
then
correct.
when did you start? Did you have a piano at home that you were like writing songs on, or would you wait
We
for like
had
the
a
house to be empty to be like, this song's about little
yeah,
boys, because I'm a little boy.
yeah. Pretty much. We had an electric keyboard, but it had headphones too, so I could, like, make up my little songs there, and yeah, always when people were gone, I'd get over there and write something.
I love that. Well, my grandmother was a piano player. She was an organ player in her church. At the age of 13, she became the organist.
Yeah.
So that's just, and this was her sheet music. It's Leave Me with a Smile. So if you wouldn't mind closing out this episode of Oberman Amplified with something that's a funny story or a joke to leave me with a smile.
To leave you with a smile. Okay. This is just playing in the church, this is what came to mind. I don't know how funny this is, but let's see. Here we go. So I'd be booked at like weddings and funerals, blah, 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 for other events. And I was playing my first funeral and I was very nervous. And there was this big, like, giant book that you have on top. And it was like a very serious moment. And I went to move it and it just like honked on the keys. And it was and everybody looks over and I was like, oh my, mortified. I was like 15 years old. And I was just like, I just ruined this. Everybody was so serious. People like kind of chuckled a little bit. I was like, oh, maybe I got a little comic relief in this situation. Like church, so it's very serious.
That's amazing. You had a job at 15.
Yeah.
Dang. That's that work ethic. No one's going to outwork Paisley Fields. And it was
Oh,
just such an honor to have you on the podcast. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. And
anytime.
yeah, I don't know. Any last remarks?
I'm so glad to be friends with you and have this support and community. Seriously, like having other people who understand this job and like this dream that's kind of crazy and elusive, and being able to just like text you and be like, hey, I'm going through it or whatever, and just like have an actual friend who's doing the same thing really means a lot to me. So thank you for having
Paisley.
me.
Oh, I love you so much.
Me
Their
too.
new album, Are You Mad at Me, is coming out on Don Giovanni Records. Thank you. My
Thank you.
first big country icon, Paisley Fields, over and
Yes.
out.
Bye.
Amplified.
Yes, I am that bitch. 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 Yes,